Welcome to a new style for me. No editing, just tabletop talks. And it's going to be used for short videos, which are going to be one of two things: answers to questions. And those questions come to me via one of many channels. I have email, which is often the way. The email is in the bio, so many people contact me directly. X is another. My DMs are open and I do read them regularly. And also questions from YouTube, often in response to videos that I've made. The other place which might create the inspiration for a tabletop talk will be news items. When something's in the news today and needs a fast comment from me, then I'll do this rather than write a script, create and edit, then post a video. So, welcome to Tabletop Talks number 1. Someone on YouTube called @ThunderBlackFairy asked me how China solved the opium addiction problem. After saying some nice things about China, ThunderBlackFairy went on to say they had been and they hadn't seen any homeless nor any drug users on a recent trip. However, in Canada, there are many. It seems China has done something the North Americans can't manage to do. One other part of the comment that I loved was this. And I quote, "My sister commented that China solved the opium addiction by shooting them all." End of quote. Well, it's recorded history that Mao did not shoot all of them. I doubt if he shot any of them. In 1949, there were millions of addicts in China. I doubt if they had enough bullets to shoot them all. It was an impoverished country. Opium was a Qing dynasty problem that had been perpetuated by the Republican government, who chose not to stop it, as it seems it was good business, and it wasn't likely to change without the Civil War. What Mao did after taking power in 1949 was two things. One was he offered voluntary rehabilitation to all addicts, completely free of charge. Now, I'm not saying it was an easy thing. I doubt if the methods were very nice, but they apparently worked, and over 70 million were cured. Those who chose not to take rehabilitation were put into work camps and probably went through a very hard cold turkey. However, the real problem for addicts is not getting cured, it's staying cured. So Mao, using the resources available to him, eliminated the entire network of production, which unfortunately was in China. Much of Sichuan province was growing poppies, and this was in fact borne out by an Australian doctor, George Ernest Morrison, who walked across China in the last few years of the Qing dynasty, and he wrote a book describing poppies as far as the eye could see in some regions. Mao made sure that every single person in every community was aware of the punishments being very harsh for any drugs. They still are. In 1948, it was possible for anyone anywhere to get opium in the streets. Kids were selling it, traders traded it, shops stocked it and sold it openly, and Mao directed society to change. People were advised to report on their friends and neighbors, and although some punishments were apparently meted out, most of the people were given an amnesty to change their career choices. As far as I know, only dealers who refused to stop dealing were executed. After the 70 million addicts were rehabilitated, they had nowhere to go to get their supplies. There is an excellent source on this, written by a man called C. Clark Kissinger. As far as I know, he's not related to Henry, but if you wish to read more about it, Google the following phrase: "How Maoist Revolution Wiped Out Drug Addiction in China," and Kissinger's archived report should be the first hit you get. As an aside, G.E. Morrison's book is called An Australian in China. He's a very interesting character, having been an advisor to Sun Yat-sen, a correspondent for the Times of London. He also represented China in the peace talks of the First World War. But he's a very different story for another day. I hope this answers some questions for some people, and I hope you enjoyed my first tabletop talk. There will be more as more topics come to light. See you then.